want to move to Oregon. Dude, they got no sales tax. That's one. Thing number one, they got no sales tax. I got a
Texas
question
doesn't
for
have
you,
any on
Ferris.
food.
I got a question for you, Ferris.
What's that?
You go to McDonald's, right? Just to
Hmm.
feed you and your wife. How much are you going to be spending?
$22. Easy.
$22 for you and your wife?
Yeah.
Nick, just for you and your wife.
Hell,
McDonald's.
McDonald's I'd hardly ever eat at, but I went to Wendy's today and all she got was the little chili. And I just got a double bacon cheeseburger and medium fries and medium drink. I usually get large, and it was like $18.
$18 at Wendy's.
Yeah.
Okay. So my standard order just for myself in California, I said it right this time, at McDonald's costs us just for me, just my food, about 18, 19 bucks just for me to eat. That's the typical order just for me is going to be the large Big Mac meal, and I get a McChicken and I get a McDouble. And that's it. And it's like 18, $19. Dude, when I was in Oregon, I stayed just the one night in between trips up there and then home. We went to McDonald's. I bought him food. I got my standard order, right? Large Big Mac, McChicken, McDouble. He got two McChickens, and a medium fry. Guess how much?
$14.
No, I wish.
Oh, damn.
21.32.
Very close. It was $22 and change. So I gave him 23 bucks and I got like 30 something cents back. $23. You know what that order is out here? Adding in the two McChickens and the medium fry out here takes my $18, $19 order up to 26, 27 bucks before tax. And then after taxes, we're paying damn near $30. It's crazy.
It's like 26%
Crazy.
higher.
Like,
Crazy.
subscribe, comment, and be good people.
Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Podcast, everybody. We're going to partake in the Great Migration.
You
Oh,
know what would be
man.
funny? All them people trying to cross the border coming this way, if they met all of us going that way. Y'all can have it. We're
Right.
out of here.
Right? Just remember, grass ain't necessarily always greener on the other side.
Nope.
But no, my buddies that live up in Oregon, dude, they make, what were they saying? They make about 30 grand a year less than they made when they lived in California, but they're pocketing more money
Mm-hmm.
because everything's cheaper. There's no sales tax. Oregon isn't taxing them just for the sake of taxing them for the sake of taking their money. They go to work, they get their paycheck, and their bills are easily paid, even though they make 30-ish thousand dollars a year less than they made here.
I vote.
I want to move to Oregon.
Wyoming's
Sounds
super cheap
amazing.
too.
Also, I jumped online just out of curiosity, and within 5 minutes, not only did I find a job for myself, but I found a job for my wife, and the two jobs combined would pay us the same exact amount that we're making right now. So we would be the California people with money if we moved up there. And the little town I was looking at where my friends live, dude, the median family income in that town is 45,000. So when I say California people with money, considering our paychecks wouldn't change, we would have more money than we would know what to do with in Oregon. Dude, their property tax is like next to nothing. Their mortgage is insanely cheap. I mean, way, way cheap.
Time to hit the Oregon Trail.
I'm thinking. Anywho,
Um, can I just say I'm getting choked out by the damn burning down Canada?
what happened?
I'm getting choked out by the burning down Canada.
Oh, is Canada on fire?
Oh, it's on fire, and we are smoked out here. It's coming
Really?
it's going all the way to
What's
Philadelphia.
the history of this? What caused it? What do you know? What's I
Oh,
know about it, but not really sure.
there's
Is it
people
is it as
saying
bad as it was a couple years back when basically my entire state was on fire?
it's really bad.
Yeah.
It's
Oof.
been weeks that there's been fires and fires, but just the other day, Quebec just had almost all of Quebec, a whole shitload of it, just bursted into flames all at one time.
Why? It sounds planned.
Well, that's what they're saying, but you got your group of people saying, "Oh, well, it was lightning strikes. A storm moved through, and lightning struck." If you look at the map where they're burning, that's a lot of places for lightning to strike and create fires, dude. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But then
That
there's other
sounds
people showing it and
premeditated.
going, actually, there's a guy live right where it's all happening. He's like, it was a beautiful, clear sky day. And then there's actually one TikTok I have to share it. I saved it where a guy's on his homestead and he's going, see that? And there's this big ass freaking plume of smoke. He said, that's a damn wildfire. And it literally just lit up. He said, not like normally wildfires start and you can see smoke where shit's burning.
Hmm.
And people go, what the hell's going on? You check it out. He said, no, this was just all of a sudden a huge freaking plume of smoke. Like it went like that.
So like somebody went out there with a shit ton of gasoline and then threw a match on it and
And it's
boom,
just like,
there's like
whoa,
1 acre all aflame within seconds.
it's nuts.
Sounds like y'all got an arsonist to me.
They're saying they think someone's been an arsonist, but then they're trying to claim, you know how it works. Trudeau ain't exactly a normal person.
Yeah, well, and
But it's
unfortunately, you
crazy
being so close, you have to
how
deal with the consequences of that.
those fires I'm getting choked out by are like 5 hours more away from me.
Wow,
And
dude.
it's going down to Philadelphia. New York City, you should see the photos. You can't even see the sky. It's eerie looking.
Hmm.
But
Post-apocalyptic. Hey,
they're
we've
like stay
we've talked
indoors.
about preparing for this exact situation,
They're
Nick.
talking about masks again because of the pollutants are so high. Like safe
Okay.
level is 50.
Okay.
Safe
Oh,
level is 50 and it's like 160, 180 here.
stand by. Just bear with me here. A couple years ago, at the height of the coronavirus pandemic, I'm not calling it COVID-19 because this is still when they were calling it the coronavirus. Basically, the entire state I live in, California, was set ablaze somehow. Everything was burning down everywhere. We were doing podcasts and I was telling you all
Yeah.
about, oh yeah, this big ass fire is only 30 miles away from me
I
and it's like
remember
800
watching
something
it.
acres and blah, 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 blah.
Wake
Right?
up and your
Remember
car
that?
had ash all over it.
Exactly. I was sending you guys pictures and videos of the sky and yada,
Mhm.
yada. Okay. So during that whole thing, there was this big, huge ordeal. Well, at least we've all got masks on, so we're going to be protected. And what did the government come out and say? Government came out and said, well, actually, the smoke particles are small enough to get through your mask. And that's when I got all hot to trot on here talking about that, going, well, if the smoke particles are too small to get through your mask, and we're talking about a virus, which is microscopic, what makes all these idiots think that the mask is going to protect them from that when it can't even stop smoke particles from getting in?
Right.
So when you say they're talking about reinstating a mask thing, whether it be a mandate or not, they already know the information that that's not gonna fucking work.
Well, they showed, I just seen a little bit ago that, at some point tomorrow, there's another, like, because the fires are burning so bad, another toxic plume. And then, it's green, then yellow, then orange, then red of how toxic it is, the air quality. And it's like
Mhm.
dark freaking red. They said to move over to Toronto and it's not livable breathing. Don't go anywhere. And then
Okay,
it's supposed to skirt
so
right down by me.
then in these areas that are being set ablaze, what kind of businesses are there to create
Okay.
such toxicity?
Now, this is the other part of it that I'm hearing a lot of, which is kind of interesting because I've mentioned this once, and I don't know if it was you or Ferris. They said it is pushing rural people to cities. They want the country. They want people in the cities to do the 15-minute cities. No, which one was it? You, Ferris? Who was talking about? Yes, Ferris. When I talked about, people attack. Why don't they attack the farmland? Because that's where the food and everything is. Now, Ferris was like, well, they don't want to ruin that land but I mean, they don't need to attack it like it's in ruin it, but they can make it unlivable for people so they can take it.
Yeah, if it's a way where the land is still valuable,
Right.
they'll do what they
So
have to.
wildfires smoking you out, they're polluting the water, people gotta have to go somewhere for fresh water. They're trying to push people out, is what they're getting at.
Well, ask yourself, I don't know, but you know more about the land involved in this, the amount of acreage involved. What is it comprised of? Is it forestry land or is it farming?
That's what I was asking. What's in this land that's making it so toxic? Like,
If it's Canada, it's probably forestry, I would think.
Well, it starts forestry, but there's been evacuations. A lot of buildings and shit have burned. Like I
well,
said,
and
that one
and
fire, the dude was on his homestead. And he said, "Look at it; it was right behind his homestead."
well, and here's the thing. I've taught terrorism countermeasures for a very long time now. So YouTube, I feel like I'm qualified to actually state this because, it's part of my actual career. Go ahead and cite me for misinformation. I fucking dare you. Um, you actually bring up a really good point with agricultural and utilizing things to push people out. That's actually, believe it or not, on the list of things to target. It's not just trucks and bins and all that other kinds of stuff. If you're going to target something and you want to take over that area, dude, agriculture is a big, um, let's just say vulnerability. Put it to you that way.
Well, I also
Okay, when
built
you're
games
looking at
by
like a
millions of
hostile
acres.
takeover type thing, because if you can control the food supply, you control everything.
Oh yeah,
Just saying.
it's insanity.
First you control the money, then you control the food supply, and now everybody's in your pocket. And that right there, that's not a conspiracy theory. That's like legit. You take a fucking class on counterterrorism measures and they'll teach you this shit. And they'll give you all kinds of info that I'm not even going into on here, nor am I going to, because I'm not here to do my day job. I'm here to have fun with my buddies.
I've seen another one where these two dudes are filming. They're driving down the road. They're in Canada, and on both sides of the road where there's trees, there's just flames. Like they're driving by flames. And they're going and going. There's mass smoke, crazy fire, and they're like, "Just go, go." He's like, we just drove that way through here like 10 minutes ago, and we're coming back. This was not like this 10 minutes ago.
Meanwhile, visibility is next to nothing. You have no
Yeah,
clue if you're going to rear end a person in front of you because you can't see them because smoke acts different than fog,
and how
which
hot
acts
is it
different
driving
than
through
a
there?
blizzard and all that other kinds of shit, not to mention the temperature and all that jazz and the effects that's going to have on your car. Oh, yeah, dude, that's hairy.
Crazy.
Oy.
I mentioned it to
Hopeless.
Grace yesterday or the day before yesterday. I was like, "Your Canadian fires are choking me out here," and she's like, "Yeah." She said that where she's at, because she's in that area. She said like adults and kids are all falling ill from that shit. People
I
are.
believe it. Dude, smoke poisoning from inhalation of that shit is a real thing, dude. That shit will fuck you up.
Yeah, because it's not just vegetation and trees. It's also, like you said, buildings and paints and
All
all
kinds
the
of
chemicals
shit.
involved to make building
Well,
materials. It's
and the
just
other thing too is I don't know what the laws are out there on construction. Obviously, Nick, you do, but I mean, if they still have buildings that contain asbestos and all that other kinds of shit, dude, I mean, fuck, dude, bro.
Well, asbestos don't burn though.
But it can still disseminate
Yeah.
through the area
Um,
as the building is being burned down and those particles are being released.
the interesting thing is with this going on, they're talking so much about air quality. But I remember when I watched the stuff going on in California, and I don't remember nothing about that. Now, when the fires were going on, like the one where it's like 30 minutes from you, like how far does that smoke go? Was it
Forever.
traveling?
Or it travels forever.
depends on the wind.
Not literally forever. It's not gonna like travel all the way around the world or anything like that, but it travels a good distance.
Well, for 5 hours or more away and what the smoke was like here, I remember going to work the other morning. Tuesday, I think, is when it started.
5
Really
hours.
bad
You
here.
gotta figure that's, anywhere from 300 to 400 miles away
I remember going to work
ish.
and I didn't see nothing. I didn't think nothing of it. And then I'm working. We went to go to lunch, and I remember going outside going, "What the fuck?" Well, we're headed home, and I'm seeing. I was in East Aurora, which is about 20 or 30 minutes or something from where I am south of me.
Hmm.
And it was clear there because this is when it was really just starting to move in. By the time I'm maybe halfway home, I look at land, I'm like, is it just me or does it look smoky as fuck? And I'm on my phone and I noticed that somebody in one of the Facebook pages for the city where I'm living was like, "Oh, do you smell some weird like plasticky, like they smelt something funny burning?" And somebody
Mm.
answered, "Oh yeah, that's from the Canadian fires." I'm like, "Canadian fires?" So I start looking into it on the way home, and that's when I found out all that smoke. And I mean,
Yeah.
it was then it would lift off, you wouldn't really see it, and then it came back again.
Hmm.
Today wasn't so bad, but they're talking about another waft coming through tomorrow.
Well, and see, that's the thing too, like plastic. That's nothing to scoff at, dude. You get enough of that plastic shit burning, dude, you're seriously gonna have some people that are gonna just get jacked. I mean, we're talking like severe illness.
Yeah,
Holy crap, dude. I feel sorry for the people around your area right now. That's scary.
not
You know,
fun, man.
people can die from that shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
To hear about the kamikaze Cessna that was forced
What
down.
is?
Yeah.
kamikaze Cessna.
No
So this
shit.
Cessna takes up. It's a Cessna brand make, but it's a larger plane than just like a small single prop. It's like a I don't know. It's a little bigger. It holds probably 12 people or something like that. From way it looked
Okay.
when they showed the example. Anyway, it takes off in the eastern part. I can't remember the name of the town, but most eastern part of Tennessee, heads north.
Is this the one that crashes into the mountains in Virginia?
Yes, they say it was headed towards the White House. So they scrambled F-16s and basically escorted it until it went, quote unquote, went down. They said they never fired upon it. They shot flares to try to get the pilot's attention. So let me ask you this. That's basically it in a nutshell. But they're
That's
saying it
not.
went down on its own and nobody
Wow.
survived.
I wonder if they're trying to change the story because I heard something totally different.
Did you hear about the one about the dude that drove the U-Haul through the White House gates?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And then basically nothing happened.
Well, it's because they're trying to
Well,
say he was American and he was Nazi and blah blah blah, but it wasn't.
yeah, they were trying to say
Yeah.
he was a racist white nationalist and he was actually a totally different nationality. I mean,
Mhm.
I suppose somebody that's a different nationality could be a
But
white nationalist,
but
but
check this out.
this day
It's
and age.
the outcome still remains. Dude basically just walked off scot-free.
Well, you're not white. That's no problem. Don't worry about it. We'll fix it.
That's crazy.
It's-
Crazy.
But with the plane thing, Ferris, I seen it because there was a TikTok with the news on it, and they said you've been hearing people have been calling 911, mass people calling 911 because they heard a sonic boom. They're all run outside and it's caught on ring cameras and whatnot. So, and then it come to find out they were jets flying by trying to catch up with this plane. And then they showed it and they said that the plane left East Tennessee and it was headed to New Jersey. But the guy became incapacitated. He got turned around and got incapacitated and then just crashed into a mountain.
Huh.
That's what I got.
That doesn't add up either, though.
Well, that was right. I mean,
I
what
think
I
what
read
Ferris
and
explained is probably more, let's just say, plausible.
Oh, I
I
know.
mean,
I'm just
it was a
saying.
statement. The military made a statement. It was the National Guard of Tennessee, I think, that was scrambled, or maybe Virginia or somebody. They even stated that they had it under good authority or something that was headed towards the White House. They didn't say much more how they knew that. Now, F-16s can do and I'm probably completely off on this, but at least Mach 1. So
Mm-hmm.
you will get
Oh,
a
I have no
sonic
idea.
boom.
Yeah.
You will get a sonic boom, and that's what they said. They mentioned that in the news report of that the sonic boom was heard by the public, and some concern was where it's coming from. So the way that this plane went down and things like that, not to put my full hat on just yet, but and then they came out and said, well, the F-16s were the reason for the sonic boom. Why would they even scramble for a F-16s for a emergency situation if the pilot was incapacitated? They didn't say that part in what I saw. That's new to me, but
That's what I wasn't understanding because they said about the F-16s, but they didn't say it was just a little plane and that the guy was headed to New Jersey, but he got turned around and then he was like incapacitated and flew into a mountain.
Huh.
yeah, he did a whole 180 when he got basically to the coastline.
Right.
How did get turned around?
Well, they have a yoke that's a steering wheel, and you turn it left or right, and it
This
the
guy.
little flaps on the wing.
Shut up, Ferris.
Technically, that's how it works, but
You jackwagon.
theoretically, I have no idea how or why.
Meanwhile, Target is crashing and burning.
He was
Still,
following his GPS.
Target's still going down?
Oh, dude, they've lost so much money.
Really?
Yeah.
Even more than they
Like
already
15
had,
or
huh?
more billion.
Whoa, because last I heard it was like 9 billion over the course of 4 to 6 days or something like that. They've lost even more.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow.
Bud Light is still crashing. They're not recouping. They just keep crashing.
Wow.
Yep.
I missed
Yeah, and a
the
certain group basically made a statement that they will retaliate violently if companies do not follow the agenda.
And they're calling the people that are banned, like boycotting, that we're terrorists because we won't accept that stuff that's in the stores and we're boycotting it. So we're, what do they call it? The word for selling shit. Uh,
Commerce.
something commerce terrorist or something to that effect. Some kind of terrorism. They worded it.
huh. Okay.
Wish I could remember what they said. I hate when that happens.
So even though we as adults understand everything that's going on with all of that, Nick, you and I kind of talked about all that in the last episode when it was just us. And we gave our viewpoints, right? Had no problem with it until it was forced down our throats, blah, 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 blah. Got an issue when you start coming after the kids, yada, yada. So, because of the fact that we as parents say, I'm not subjecting my child to this because it's not good for them, they're not emotionally ready to understand what it all means, that makes that individual a terrorist.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that makes that person a good fucking parent. Wow. Oh, I hate this place.
It's getting ugly. It's getting very ugly. I guess they indicted Trump again, and now he's going to Miami for court.
What else is new?
I'll tell you what else new. Muffet Babies are pushing that agenda as well.
Yes, they
I
are.
saw that. I
The
saw that
Gonzo
TikTok
thing,
video.
where
I
Gonzo's a
saw that
princess.
TikTok video.
Oh my
Yeah, I think Nick,
god!
you sent it to me. I'd actually seen something day before yesterday on it too about it.
It's just so
When
messed up.
when our children are watching their shows, we're right there watching the shows with them. It's just how it is. Our kids
I
don't
wish
get to watch TV without us monitoring.
I wish people would
Sadly,
realize
it's got to be that way.
the media effect we have that is there prevalent on the population. And you talk about boycott, stop watching your phone and TV and boycott
Oh,
Trump.
whatever. Mister sends out 10 to 12 TikTok videos that are all 16
I'm
minutes
not talking
long a
about
day.
I'm not talking about social media. Depending on what you trust as your source of information, right?
Hmm.
I'm talking about entertainment that is agenda pushing subliminal. It's not even subliminal anymore.
Oh,
It's
no,
out
it's
in
in
the
your
It's
open.
face.
blatant. It's
It's in your
blatant in your
face.
face. It's
Used
spiritual.
to
But that's
be
the thing. It's not just that
Disney
agenda,
hidden
though.
kind of stuff. Now
But
it's
it's
just
not just that agenda, though. It's all sorts of agendas. If you really start paying attention and you start reading between the lines and you can keep an open and unbiased mindset into what's going on and keep your emotions out of it to allow you to truly pay attention to the messaging that's being sent out via the media nowadays, all aspects, broad spectrum of the messaging, not just the LGBTQ thing that's going on. Dude, you'll see so much shit.
Tons.
And once you see it, you'll never forget it, and you'll instantly be labeled as a conspiracy theorist or, according to what Nick told us a minute ago, a terrorist.
well, you consider me a terrorist because I'm probably gonna be dropping a couple of social media platforms
Yeah, well, I
altogether.
mean, considering what I alluded to earlier when I talked about a little bit about my career path, just because you boycott a store due to a business decision that they made and you no longer shop there, that does in no way, shape, or form make you a terrorist. That's just asinine
No.
to even think that. That's ridiculous.
Makes you American. We have a choice to choose. We have the right to choose what we buy and where we travel. And
Freedom of choice, man.
I mean, I like Chick-fil-A, and
That's
really has nothing.
disgusting.
It has nothing to do with
It's disgusting.
the company being Christian based, right?
Their
Nothing at
food
all.
is terrible.
Yeah, but now they're saying they're pushing that shit.
Chick-fil-A's food is terrible.
Chick-fil-A's pushing what?
The trans shit's starting to sleep into the Chick-fil-A.
Let it. That's fine.
Yeah, it's
Who
news to me.
cares?
Well, because they're supposed to be Christian
Who
based, so that's a
cares?
little odd. But did you
They
guys see?
still have terrible food at the end of the day.
You know what's crazy is when Trump was president and
Can
then
we
the
talk about what's
election was,
not crazy? It seems like a smaller list.
you know, we have no show.
Right.
This is
And then
true.
the 2020 election's coming up, and all these people are talking how bad Trump is. The stuff he says is incredible. The whole, him saying he grabbed a girl's crotch and all that stuff. I remember Linda's psychopath cousin over here was like all over me. You want him being whatever for your kids? I'm like, my kids don't know nothing about that. Him saying stuff like that. I said, the only reason why my kid would know that he said that is because someone like you is posting on fucking social media. You're the one
Yep.
spreading it.
Yep.
But what's crazy is they were all about that, but look at the shit they're pushing on kids and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But because Trump said something back in the 80s that y'all keep repeating, he should be ousted. But Biden, hooray, hooray for pushing porn books in schools and shit. I mean, come on.
Yep.
Psycho.
Absolutely ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, the Democrats gonna have
It's
easier time during the primary. There won't be one.
Right?
What was the guy's name on? Did y'all see the TikTok? I think of his name, but the guy who played on Dawson's Creek, the actor.
never saw it.
Anyway, he was on TikTok and he was. I don't know if he was. If he's. I'm assuming he's Democrat. He's definitely a Hollywood elitist kind of thing, but he was irate because of that. Like he doesn't understand why the DNC is not going to have a primary. They're not going to have debates.
They don't
And I put
want
the
to.
cart before the horse with that, but you know what I mean. They're not going to do that. Basically,
Because
Biden's
it
dead.
would do nothing but solidify the fact that they're out of their mind. They know
Well,
that if
here's the
they
thing.
know that if they do, they lose any chance.
True, but if they're going to quote unquote, based on a large popular belief, um, if they can rig the elections, then why couldn't they really rig debates? And I'm answering my own question here. It's because what you said. You put that gerbil up on stage, he's going to just run the wheel as long as he's got something in his ear telling him what to say, and he's still going to mess it up.
You put that gerbil on
But
stage, he's gonna run right
but
up
if that's
Biden's
their
butt.
candidate, it's all a pony show anyway.
It's all smoke and mirrors, dude.
Just give people a debate and be done with it. It's not. It more or less is just a show.
Two things, and I'm gonna upset a lot of folks right now.
I'm already pissed.
Good. Thing number one, going back to what Nick was saying about Hillary and Trump. Remember, let's not forget that all of the media outlets had announced Hillary as the winner before she lost. Okay.
Right.
Don't forget that. They announced her as a shoe-in. She's gonna win. It's guaranteed. First female president in U.S. history, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward a few hours. Guess what? You lose. Okay. Let's not forget that. And then let's also not forget this. And this ties into what Ferris just said, dog and pony show, smoke and mirrors. At the end of the day, I'm going to get a lot of flack for saying this. When y'all truly understand who makes the decisions in this world, you will come to the realization that it doesn't matter if it's the left in office or the
My
right
wife.
in office, because the person pulling the strings and calling the shots is still the same person pulling the strings and calling the shots, regardless of who's sitting on that seat. The world is moving in one direction and one direction only. The only person that has the ability to put a stop to it is the person that takes that seat and refuses to be a puppet. Trump had a lot of flaws. He still has a lot of flaws. I personally think he is a horrible, horrible human being, but he refused to be that puppet. That was his saving grace. Thank God he refused to be that puppet. However, he still was very much a puppet for some things. Let's also not forget that this whole vaccine thing, that was his baby. When Biden and all of them were pushing the COVID-19 vaccine, who was in office claiming, oh, we did the greatest thing in the history of history ever because we got this done in 9 months or whatever the fuck it was? It was Trump. He's not the end all be all guy. He's a piece of shit individual, in my opinion. But at the time, he was the best person to run the country because he did take a stand. There was shit that he would not put up with. But again, like I said, the vaccine was created during his service.
Are you sure about that?
I'm 100%
Yes.
positive about that.
That is accurate.
Biden and all them pushed the Trump vaccine, essentially. So he still contributed to whoever's actually calling the shots.
The other side of the aisle is actually against it only because it was Trump's quote unquote fix. Obviously, they're against him. But then when he was out of the picture,
Oh, now it's their thing.
yeah.
The tables turned real quick.
By the way, where is that Fauci character at? I ain't heard nothing out of him in a year, a little over a year.
Out of who?
Fauci? Fauci?
Fauci?
Fauci, whatever his name is. I almost
Oh,
forgot him
He been
altogether.
hiding. He in trouble.
Dr. Anthony Fauci.
There you go.
Yeah, he basically just like disappeared, right?
Yeah.
Ain't heard shit out of him in a while. The
Is he
last
swimming
thing,
with the fishies?
I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything about that, but the last thing I remember him saying was, oh yeah, we screwed up big time when it came to the COVID-19 pandemic, and all the guidances and the guidelines and the mandates and blah 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 and the reporting of information, because everything was, in a nutshell, to wrap it up, not quoting him verbatim, just paraphrasing in my words, everything was fucked. Yeah, he basically admitted to a whole bunch of shit in an interview that I watched. And that was the last I'd heard of him. It's been months.
Problem, in fact, I remember that guy. There's a lot of times he'd admit to something, and then when you talk to him again, he denied admitting it. Enough of it.
Oh yeah. Oh
Not,
yeah.
not that we know a lot about the candidates involved, but if not Trump, each one of y'all can answer. And I don't really have an answer. That's why I'm asking, trying to get understanding here. But if not Trump, who would be the best necessary evil, if you will, in that office?
There's no
in
such
24?
thing. There's no such thing as a necessary evil. What the United States of America needs is
An enema.
a good old boy who also has business sense.
I disagree. I think
You need a
anytime you get in
redneck businessman.
anytime you get in politics, take Trump for example.
Ross
The
Perot.
reason he won,
Oh, good Lord, Nick, no.
the
Nick,
reason
you're an
Trump
idiot.
won was because of his business sense.
Mhm.
Everybody I know voted on him because that voted on him. It's like, I want this country ran like a business. It is
Yep.
a business.
It is.
He understood that it's a corporation, so that we're going to run it that way, right? So he politically, like you said, he's not really a dummy. He just has an ego trip issue, I think, and he's got some skeletons that won't go away, and he just wasn't the right pick for that aspect of it. But he did what he was supposed to do.
And from a business standpoint, the dude legitimately made history and set records. And
yeah,
from a business standpoint,
Right.
did phenomenal things. As a human being, he's a dirtbag. He's a piece of shit.
I had a hard time.
I still want to meet him and
time.
shake his hand and go, "Hey, thanks for everything you did in the 4 years that you were in office."
I want to lick the four fingers and kind of do his comb over too. Let me fix that for you.
But
but seriously, who? I mean, you've got people like, I don't know who all is going to be possibly running. Probably nobody if Trump is it. But if there was no Trump in this, and 2024 is going to end up going like a normal election, where you got the debates and all that, who do you want to see on that panel? And then who ultimately is kind of the top runner for?
There's no good choice here, dude.
That's why I said there would be a necessary evil. Right?
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
I can think of two
I'll
guys
run.
right now.
Elect me. I don't know anything about politics. I know a little bit about business sense and all that kind of stuff. I can do some math. But what do I specialize in? I specialize in body language and micro expressions and linguistic pattern analysis, and I can know whether or not the person that's trying to give me information is fucking lying to me. So
what if they changed it and the president actually had to end up being, instead of president, it was a couple. Like, you run your household between your wife and yourself. You debate, you discuss, you make decisions based on the progress of your home, of your life together. What if that was a thing?
You don't think that's kind of how it goes with these first ladies?
Well, it was with Bill and Hillary because she ran the show, but I mean, I'm talking about like a true partnership.
I don't. So you're talking about like, hey, you get a Democrat and a Republican in there and make them work together?
Not necessarily.
That could never happen.
It could happen that way if you've got. I mean, I know some couples that have been together a long time, despite the fact that they have different views in politics. They're not necessarily R and D, but they're maybe an independent and a Democrat, or a Republican and they're not always. Everybody's not always going to be on the same page. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. You got a husband and wife team that is the presidency of the country. They still have to do the other things, along the laws with Congress and Senate and all that, and follow the rules. They can't be making all these monarch type decisions, but they have the power amongst themselves, and it has to be unanimous. If it's a split on a decision, then they do the same thing they do now. Is just don't worry about it. Just look over it. Just move on. Go to the next bill or go to the next action or whatever. You talk
You know
about
what?
we talk about family being the core. We've talked about it a little bit, and I feel like that's the problem with this nation and probably the entire planet, where the family unit is no longer focused on. Forget about Jesus for a minute and God, but if you look at the family and whether you're religious or not, if you've got a good family core where the adults in the family are the heads of that household, and anybody in that household, whether it's kids or niece and nephews or uncles or grandparents staying there, they control that home. They make the decisions for that home, do or die. And having that unit back in play in the household, I think this country would be a whole lot better. So why not have that in the office, in the biggest office of the country? If it works in a smaller unit, why couldn't it work for a bigger unit? Would it and here's a contradictory statement.
How
Would
many
it be
questions are you going to ask in your 30
this
minutes of
isn't a
talking?
question. It could be. I'm just giving you what you dish out, Mr.
I haven't
Brandon.
even got to answer any of the damn questions yet.
I know,
All
right?
right.
He's on question like 7 now.
Who would be your elected president? Who would be top five?
Nobody.
Right now,
Nick?
nobody, but there's two people I can think of. I cannot think of their names to save my life. But if they do what they're saying, yes. But that's the problem. How many of these people say this is what I'm doing, and then they get in and like, I ain't doing that shit.
All of them.
It's
To
a
go
younger
back,
guy,
to go
and then
back
it's
to
is
to
he
go
like a
back to
Kennedy
Trump
or
real
something?
quick.
What's the guy's name? No.
In my opinion, Trump was one of the few people that ever took that office that legitimately told us everything he was going to do, and then went and actually did it, and then is still to this day facing the repercussions of those decisions that he made, even though he was upfront and said, "This is my plan." Okay. To answer your question, Ferris, of everybody that's capable or able to vie for that position right now, here's my thought on it. I am sick and tired of these career politicians being ones that are appointed as president of the United States, especially when they've spent their entire career and it's been essentially wasted because the decisions that they made actually have negatively impacted the US citizens. What I would say, to fully answer your first question, is to take every single political seat ever created and start it back from square one with what it was originally intended to be, which is a public service position. It was intended to be a public service position that paid public service wages, which was comparable to the median salary of the whatever at the time, blah 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 blah. So for example, let's just say the median salary in Washington, D.C., taking away all of the politicians and just actually abiding by the U.S. citizens themselves, let's say it's 50,000 a year. Okay, president sits in office in this area, he makes 50,000 a year. When he's done being president for his 4-year term, he needs to go get a job. They ain't going to pay him 120, 140,000 for the rest of his life with Secret Service and this and that. No, it's a public position. And for me, what I would love to see, absolutely love to see every time, every single time, whoever's in that chair is sitting down to sign a bill into existence, it's broadcasted. And I don't just mean televised. I mean, they push that shit to every single device on purpose. You go to load up Facebook, you can't get away from the fact that the president's making this decision today. You go to Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, turn on your TV. You cannot change the channel. This is what the president is doing today.
Disclosure.
What do y'all think about it? Text your answer here and here and here and here and here and here and here. This is what he's thinking about. A decision will be made based off of the U.S. population's answer within X amount of time. They have their analysts that get all of the responses and truly give power back to the people. Make us decide. Make that become a norm. Make that to the point where it's not an inconvenience because you're interrupting my fucking lunch break while I was watching TikTok videos. Make it to where the people actually want to be involved, because the problem that we have in the US nowadays is everybody's a piece of shit, lazy motherfucker, and they don't want to be involved. They want someone else to run their life for them. That's why they're getting away with telling us how we're going to be able to spend our money and we can't go over $1,000 here and there, blah, 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 blah. That's why the US dollar is
They'll go
being
over
taken
1,000.
away as the world's currency currently right now. Nobody else is fucking recognizing it because they're allowing it to happen.
You know, it's crazy too because they work for us, but they don't get that. Now, how do they get to take? We pay.
No,
their
they
salary.
think we work. They think we work for them.
Right, but we pay
That's
their
the problem with a
salaries
career politician.
with our taxes and shit. We pay their salary.
Yeah, and then
But
they
they
get
wanna-
together collectively and vote and pass the fact that they can increase their salary by
Right,
30%
they
this year.
decide on
Fuck
their
you.
own damn raises. Well, I need a raise, so let's vote on that. That's our decision. I can't go. You can't go to your job and tell your boss, "I'm deciding that I need a raise, so I'm getting a raise. I just went up 50 grand." You can't do
Exactly.
that.
Exactly.
When I heard that,
Crazy,
like not
dude.
long, what was it when Pelosi was still speaker and she was saying we're voting on that we need raises. I'm like, what the fuck do you need a raise for? The amount of money you make.
And of course, when you're talking about putting more money in someone else's pocket for doing no more work, and it's a vote up to them, of course they're going to say, yeah, let's give ourselves raises. Cool. Where are we going to take it from? I don't know yet.
A little vacation. And you want to talk about, having to raise a debt ceiling and because we're in so much. Just the salary of all the politicians alone, just that alone. How many presidents are still living and they're collecting their pay?
To the tune of $120,000+ a year just for doing nothing.
Do you know how much money that could be back into the United States pocket? That's a lot of money, dude. That's not even counting everything else. That's just all their salary.
Well, and let's also not forget, like I said, career politicians, right? People that have been doing it for 30, 40, 50+ years. Okay. Look at Joe Biden. Okay. He's the president of the United States right now. Top dog SOB, right? When he started
He
his
interned for Abraham
political
Lincoln.
journey. Good Lord, don't be saying that shit. You crazy. But when he
I'm just
first
thinking of Joe,
started,
he's old as fuck.
when he first started, I want to know how much his salary was starting. Because here's the thing, I'll bet you the majority of politicians out there are touching at least very close to six figures.
And think about it, dude. It ain't just the president, the vice president, speaker.
Dude, you've got governors,
how
you've
many
got
governors,
mayors,
how many senators, how many there's secretaries and there's so many people, right?
But I'm talking about just decision makers. I'm talking about, there's a level of I don't know what it's called, but I guess ongoing income or support or whatever for those decision makers, from governor to congressperson, senator, president, blah blah blah, that income is protecting the most important asset that we have as people, as a society, which is information, especially the president. I think that's the reason why they have a social security, a security detail till death, because they have these secrets. Even governors, they have these secrets. There's these behind closed door meetings and decision processes that they are privy to information that we all admit probably shouldn't be out. We have griped about presidents letting people, other countries know, hey, we're fixing to attack Iraq on Tuesday at 3:00. I mean, that when you're, I can go on a
I get
rabbit
they
hole.
need protected, but they don't need all that damn money.
The salary thing, I get that because
And
most
it's
of them are already self-made, and it's not the salary that's making them rich. It's not even the repeat reelected
Yeah,
in
it's the
office. It's
insider
there
training
you go. That's it.
or trading.
That's it.
but still they make a hefty salary. There should be a
Or
salary cap, and it should be where you think you need a raise, you need to just not live in a fucking mansion that's fucking $300 million
But
worth.
Nick, I think what Ferris is trying to say is all these people that are in these positions, they don't need that salary anyways.
I realize that.
typically
They're
they
Even
already
don't.
more so.
set
That's even more of an excuse. So what are you asking for a raise for? Is it
because
just
it's
to make
just
it look
that
like they
much
need
more
money?
that
So
they
you,
don't have to put any effort towards, dude.
it's just weird.
Quit paying a salary and pay them hourly. Maybe they'll have more sessions to get things done. That's a thought.
Maybe they'll spend less time on a golf course.
There you go.
If you didn't have such a huge price tag on it and they weren't doing it for the money, they might be more likely to be doing it for the right damn reason.
Mm-hmm. Is the minimum
It's,
age requirement to be president of the United States still 35 years old?
I have no clue.
I know it used to be. I don't know what it is now. Because it was like at 35, you've had enough life experience to know better and blah 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 blah.
All
Well,
I know is there's not a maximum because he's still in office. So
if kids are allowed to
Right.
decide to change genders and all this shit at super young ages, they might as well get rid of drinking ages and every damn thing else.
Oh my
Right.
God, dude.
Well,
You're killing me. Nick, let's run for office. We'll do Ferris's idea. We'll run together.
that's a good
as a
idea.
couple, there you
Toast
go.
to
Yeah,
No, not
y'all.
as a
couple.
not
That's
as a
no, that's what I
couple.
said. Y'all been on this trip for a couple years now. Finally, y'all are like, no, I'm just kidding.
But no, like we'll run together. Hey, we are a package deal. We will make all these decisions, and guess what? That salary, that 120, 140, whatever it is, we'll just split it right down the middle, half and half.
We're good.
I'm good.
And you're gonna have tofu Tuesdays
I don't need all of it.
like a
Oh,
regular
and
household.
and the security detail, we're gonna cut that in half too, because we're just two good old boys trying to do the right thing.
That's right.
I don't care. If it's my time, it's my time.
You could
That's
dodge
fine.
your own bullets, huh?
Nick can run the show without me.
Duck and
Same
weave,
thing for
duck and
him.
weave.
Yeah,
Duck and
I've been dodging bullets as a part of my career. Never mind. I know how to dodge a bullet.
Secret agent, man.
uh
I'm almost done with my big job.
I know.
One more
I
bathroom I
saw
gotta
your
do.
thing online.
Dude, I
What?
pull up and they got a frickin' heart in the yard with the pride flag on it.
Huh?
My buddy and his wife, I don't know how much of it's him, but I've been working there. And since I've been working there, they always had this other sign that had all the different things. Like, you had BLM and pride and all those all listed. Love everybody on it. And then I hadn't seen it in a while. And then I pulled up today and they had a pride flag heart in their yard. I'm like,
They must got threatened with violence.
Okay.
I wonder how many of those people do that and really know what's actually going on. Or they just think that they're, look at with my kid, we're just good people. Like, we just love it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
To have a cause and show it to your neighbors and the public is a trend. It's trendy to have
The
something to
problem
fight
is
for.
people jump on the bandwagon of the trend without actually knowing what they're
Exactly.
representing.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They
I'm not going to say
you know,
nothing. They're my friends, whatever, but I so bad want to say, do you realize how many of the LGBTQ themselves are saying they don't even let that flag represent them anymore because they themselves are sick of what they're doing? Their own people have had enough of it.
Yeah, just look at a conservative ant on TikTok and on Instagram and on Facebook. He's everywhere.
Insane.
I love him, by the way. He's amazing.
I don't know
I
if
want to
it's
be
him or
his
not.
friend. I want to be his real life friend. I do.
It's hard to talk to you today, dude. Everything you say out your mouth while you got that shirt on that says "I'm sorry."
Oh, here.
He's no longer unapologetic. Oh, there he is.
You probably did. You offended
That's
somebody.
the whole thing. It's a sarcastic. I'm sorry. Did I offend you? My mother got this shirt for me because she knows me so well. Like years ago.
Any other good news, Ferris?
I'm working 2 jobs and a couple of
I'm sorry.
hobbies and busy, man.
I've been busy too. I've been doing this job and I come home. My little brother, since he went to my camp one day, he's now bought himself a camper and I'm remodeling the damn thing.
No, so you come home and do more work.
Pretty much.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Say it with me, Nick. No.
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 I choose quality of life. No.
I did that tile job on the
Hey,
walls.
Nick.
I went again. I do these little things against the designer. I do these little executive
Nick.
decisions and what?
Nope, 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 nope.
Nope, 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 nope.
Find a
There you
way
go.
to say it with some like sarcastic, happy class.
I
Like,
wish I could do the mouth
no,
like those dudes do.
I don't
Nope,
think I
nope,
will.
nope, 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 nope.
Yep, 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 yep,
Yep,
yep,
yep,
yep,
yep,
yep,
yep,
yep,
yep,
yep,
yep,
yep.
yep, 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 yep.
So what have you been doing to get back at the designer?
Well, every so often I'll do something that she was like not wanting. Like she wants mitered corners instead of using bull nose. Okay, so I
Dang, this
mitered these
dude needs
two
a camera
corners,
crew.
but the niche I have to do in the shower for the shampoo and whatnot, I'm like, the way this is going together, the way you got to cut around it, the damn miters are going to look like shit. It's going to be horrible, tedious, look like shit. And I'm trying to figure out something else to do, and I remembered the metal trim things you put on the wall and you tile to it, and it's a finished edge. So I said, fuck the damn mitering, and I went and I got a piece of that metal trim edge, and I used that. And it was actually smart because I got a black one that matches all the black hardware in the shower.
Nice.
Take that. My idea's better. Linda showed me a picture. She goes, look at her plans still have that wall where the toilet is, like flush with the tub and stuff, which I did not do. I blew it back so that it would fit. And
Yeah.
she said, and she also got the toilet like right against the tub. I did, and I put it in the middle of that thing I pushed back. It's like, I can't put it by the tub. There's a fucking floor joist right there. So when they plan things, they just plan it like you just put it there. You
Mhm.
know, there's stuff on the other side of the floor called floor joist. Like you got to work with the frame of the house.
The thing that's amazing me is there's a designer involved. It's a bathroom. It's
Not
where
very
you go
good.
to take a shit.
A lot of tile, dude. Holy shit. For a little bathroom.
It's where
Uh,
you go to take a shit and then clean yourself. It's like the least used room in the house. Why does a designer have to be involved? What happened to people coming up with their own thing? Like, dude, bro, I have ideas for our house that I don't know how to come to fruition because I don't have your background. But if you came over here and I showed you my bathroom, our master bathroom that I want to redo, and then I said, this is kind of what I'm thinking. What do you think? And you go, oh, yeah, I could do X, Y, and Z and blah, 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 blah. I go, cool, sweet, have fun. Let me know what you need.
good. This way it should be.
Like, as far as I'm concerned, you as the person building the shit should have final say on the design of the shit because you know whether or not it's actually going
Gonna
to work.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Designers get hot. No, I want it there. Well, too damn bad. You want to pay to reframe this house?
That's when you just look at the designer and go, okay, do it yourself.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, it's not possible.
Well, and this designer for wanting to do the job has been like, I don't see her. I'm used to going on jobs and you see that designer like once a week checking and going over things. Nothing with this lady.
Hmm.
But we're nearing the end finally. I gotta just finish this grouting and put this thing together, and I gotta do one more bathroom. and I'm gonna whip that shit out quick.
Just ignore the designer and just do it.
Just do it.
Well, this has been fun.
Yeah, it was
Can you
nice to
believe
hear
it's been
y'all's
this long
voices. Y'all
already?
have been gone. We all
Hey,
been busy.
I know. Everybody, we all got a
I was
thing.
used to have Ferris like give me a call or something, and then he just dumped me.
I tried to call you. You never called me.
Well, didn't you just hear him? He's working 2 jobs, man. The
When did
man's
you try to call me?
tired.
A little over a week ago.
You did?
Yeah, when you were chatting it up in our messenger chat. And you texted me and said, "Hey, I saw you and Chip called me, but I was busy doing something. I don't know what you're doing. I forget what you said now. You're on the phone with your brother or something."
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Nobody calls me. Then again, I'm probably never in a position to actually answer
If we were to call
anymore.
you, Brandon, it would be because we need to have a meeting and you'd say no anyway. So
I like to veto.
I did say one time we talked that from now on I'm just gonna call you. If you answer, you answer.
President
If you don't,
Metz.
you don't. But like I feel like I'm gonna be calling you in the middle of something.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Dude, if you call me, I'm going to be in the middle of something, but I'll probably answer. Or if I don't, I like to do I don't do the automatic text replies, can I call you later? I'm busy right now, whatever those things are. I do the custom right there in the moment while you're calling me. Hey, I'm in the middle of a meeting. Let me call you as soon as it's over.
Always just use driving. I'm driving, no matter what.
I put
There's
up
just sitting down taking a shit. I'm driving right now.
I'm driving.
I like the poop emoji.
I mean, it's
I'm in the bathroom. I'm
it's the
usually
You're
most-
always in the bathroom, Nick.
in this day and age, that's the most respected excuse. I'm driving. So why not?
Dude, I text people the fact that I'm driving and they just continue to text me anyways.
Well, those aren't your people then. They don't
well.
care about your safety.
Why would they give to like you're texting saying you're driving? So it's kind of
It's an automatic reply.
Just use the voice to text function when you're driving. You can do that hands free.
I can't do that because it would go off on some weird what I'm doing and it has nothing to do with what I'm doing. And people are like, what the hell did he just say?
what the hell?
Because your text message would go off on a Ferris tangent.
Yeah, it'd be like, I'm teaching a bunny to jump on a boat, and it would just the voice to text just doesn't work well, and
Fair enough.
Well, he says he's driving, but that could mean anything.
exactly. But you don't know that. All you care about is my safety, right? So you're not going to bother me until I call you back.
Well, some of the driving ain't had nothing to do with safety. You could be driving some at the golf course. You could be.
I'm not a golfer.
We'll just stop there. Ain't gonna take that any further.
Driving at home.
Mm.
Driving right now. I'm gonna test that theory one of these days, Ferris. I'm gonna call you and I'm gonna wait for you to hit that automatic reply. I'm driving, and then I'm just gonna text you back. You're so full of shit.
Well, I'd probably answer your call because
I never call.
it's rare. I'm like, oh my God, who died?
I
What's
better
wrong,
answer
Brandon?
I was just calling to say hi. What's up, dude? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm driving right now, and I answer this. Oh man.
No, it'd be funny is you call him when he answers. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" You say, "All right, bye." Click.
You didn't
Just
do
checking
it.
in.
Bye.
Click. Just wanted to make sure. Click.
Or just say, "Are you driving?" Well, yeah, I am. I'm headed home. Why didn't you send me a text say you're driving? Now I'm guilty of making you unsafe. Click.
I like it. See, and this, for anyone who's made it this far, this is what happens when we all don't get together for a couple weeks because we get too busy. We don't know how to wrap up a show that we should have wrapped already.
Should have wrapped it up.
Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't.
So we're gonna make y'all sit through some awkward silence.
Wrap it up or cough it up.
Oh no, never mind. I'm not bringing that up. It's a bad idea.
Anywho, y'all don't
With
forget to
that,
like, subscribe, comment,
oh.
share, hit the link tree, go to the Shopify store.
Hey,
Things can be things can happen. Okay. It's majestic.
with you.
Oh.
I didn't say nothing about it. All right, people. Be
What,
good.
Nick? What,
Nothing.
Nick?
Nothing.
What?
No.
What? What?
Later, guys.
Yeah.